Hey guys! So in this video, I'm going to show you how to adapt the bullet journal system for the Hobonichi Weeks. A couple of caveats before we start. First, I'm going to assume that you are familiar with the bullet journal system. If not, please visit Ryder Carroll's website at bulletjournal.com to read his free reference guide before continuing with this video. Second, this is my personal adaptation of the bullet journal system. What works for me may not work for you, so I encourage you to experiment and develop a system that suits your individual planning style. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started. I'm going to first very quickly show you what the spreads look like in the weeks. Great. The Hobonichi Weeks has 4 spreads. The first is a yearly calendar comprising the calendars for 2018, 2019, and 2020. Then we have the yearly index from January 2019 to December 2019. Next, we have the monthly spreads from December 2018 to March 2020. And then finally, we have the weekly spreads from the first week of December 2018 to the last week of December 2019. Behind the weekly spreads are blank grid pages like this, right? One nice feature of these pages is that they are numbered. And this is great if you want to index the pages. But I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Now, a Hobonichi Weeks has 68 blank grid pages, while a Weeks Mega, which is what I have right here, it has 213 blank grid pages. I prefer the Weeks Mega because I don't want to run out of space in the middle of the year and then have to use a different notebook. But some people prefer the Weeks because it is less bulky. So it's really a personal preference which one you choose. Now, let me walk you through how I set up the bullet journal in the Hobonichi. Right behind the cover, I wrote my overall goal for 2019, which is to spend more time doing things that matter to me with people who matter to me. This is my focus for 2019, and it's important to me that I can refer to it whenever I need to. So I put it right at the beginning of the planner. Then I use the yearly calendar to track my period as well as my exercise. Now, exercise is one habit that I track regularly. After seeing a number of family members suffer from heart attacks, I'm convinced of the importance of having a healthy body, free of disease and pain. Now, there are other things that you can use the yearly calendar for. If you need some ideas, please watch my video on 25 ways to use the yearly calendar. The link will be somewhere here. I haven't used the yearly index yet because it's still 2018, but I will use it in 2019 to track the hours that I spend on my client's project. Again, if you need ideas on how to use this spread, please watch my video on 12 ways to use the yearly index. The link is here. Next up is the monthly spread. I use the monthly spread for bullet journal monthly log and the future log. I schedule events and appointments in the calendar grid and then write the monthly tasks in the empty space to the left of the calendar grid. I also write down the things I need to keep in view at the bottom of the calendar grid, like whether my client has paid me, that sort of thing. At the end of each month, I reflect on whether the unfinished tasks are still relevant. So if they are, I rewrite them or migrate them to the next month. Otherwise, I just ignore them. I use the weekly spread for the bullet journal daily log. But unlike the traditional bullet journal system, I don't have the events, tasks, and notes all in one block. Instead, I have separate sections for each type of information. And the reason is that my brain gets overwhelmed when I have to sieve out different types of information from a single block. This happens even when I use different colors for different types of information, or I have specific signifiers for them. I find that it's much easier on my brain when I have the information already organized by section. Then I know exactly where to go for specific type of information. So I divide the left page into two sections. On the left side, I write events or appointments for that day. Then on the right side, I write my daily tasks. On the right page is where I write my notes. Now, at the beginning of the week, I write all the tasks I want to complete on a post-it note like this. This forms the master task list for that week. At the beginning of each day, I look at the monthly log or the monthly calendar to see if there are any events or appointments for that day, and then write them down in this section here. Then I identify the tasks that I need to work on for that day from the master task list, and then I write them in this section here. When I complete a task, I draw a cross in the checkbox. If I worked on the task but it remains incomplete, it gets one upward diagonal stroke. If I want to postpone the task to a different day, the later date, I draw an arrow with the arrowhead to the right. Finally, if the task is irrelevant, then I cross it out. I only plan my day in the morning and never earlier than that, because up until the morning, I'm not sure if I have to attend to an emergency, and then I have to scrap my work plans. And that really isn't enough space here to rewrite another set of daily task lists. So I rather avoid all that hassle by planning only in the morning. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the right page of the weekly spread is for notes. So I use these pages for notes specific to the week, such as notes taken during the meeting, thoughts on the party that I attended that week, reflections on my current work performance, things that I'm waiting on, things like that. If you run out of space, you can always use the extra grid pages at the end. So here, all right. Simply write the page number at the bottom of this page so that you know which page your notes continue on. At the same time, it would be useful to write the week. Say this is the 52nd week of 2018. So write that on the first line of your extra grid page so that you can refer back to the previous page of the notes. For notes that are not specific to the week, I use the blank grid pages at the back. So in the past, I've used these pages to plan my vacation, jot down YouTube video ideas, work out my problems, reflect on goals, and so on. So far this year, I have my word of the year and my goals for 2019. I also have my someday maybe list. At any point in time, I have many project ideas in my head, but I have limited time and I can't work on all of them simultaneously. To make sure I don't forget them, I write them in my someday maybe list, and then I review this list every quarter to see if I'm ready to work on them. So for example, learning Lindy Hop was on my someday maybe list for a while. Then in October, when I reviewed the list, I decided that I was ready and signed up myself for a Lindy Hop class, which I enjoyed tremendously. Now, if you are taking notes on an assortment of things, it can be quite difficult to find the information that you want. This is where the index page comes in. The Weeks has a pre-printed index page like this. You write the page number in the column here and then the subject or the topic in this column. For me, this page is enough because I only index pages that I have difficulty finding. But if you feel that you need more index pages, then you can use the blank grid pages as your index pages. There is this slightly darker line to the left of every grid page. You can use this as a natural divider. So you would write the page number to the left and the topic to the right of this line. And that's it. That's my personal adaptation of the bullet journal system in the Hobonichi Weeks. I chose to focus on the basics, so I have left out quite a lot. I encourage you to read the bullet journal method by writer Carroll, his book, to understand the philosophy behind the system, as well as to get some ideas on how to use the system to lead a more intentional life. Now, this is the last video I'm producing for 2018, and it will be the last video for some time. So here's wishing all of you a productive and meaningful 2019. As always, thank you so much for watching. Take care and bye-bye.